Hi, I'm Tim. I am the Tinkering Turtle. Today we're going to review the Ride1UP Core5 step-thru. This is a really interesting bike and I'm excited to tell you my thoughts on it. Let's get to it. Before I give you my thoughts on how the bike rides and my overall concept for what this bike is good for, let's get into some of the features and components that the bike has. First off, this is a Class 3 e-bike. It has a 750 watt motor and it will go 20 miles an hour on throttle alone and up to 28 miles an hour with pedal assist. It comes with a 10.4 amp 48 volt integrated battery. This gives the bike about 20 miles of distance on throttle alone and 40 miles with pedal assist. The motor is a 48 volt Shenji motor that they claim is a 750 watt sustained motor. It gives you about 60 Newton meters of torque. Now this is a smaller motor than I'm used to when I see 750 watt motors. The motors that I've seen on my other bikes are much larger, but this one does give you a decent amount of power that just with the 60 Newton meters of torque, you're not going to get a huge thrust off the line. It's more of a gradual build of speed and power, which I actually find to be quite nice. It has a lightweight 6061 alloy frame, which is really nice because the overall weight of the bike is only 50 pounds, 49 pounds according to the website. The controller, which is a 48 volt, 22 amp Lishu sine wave controller, peaks out at 1000 watts and is integrated into the frame so it's not visible and exposed to the environment. The battery has LG cells in it and a smart BMS, and you can also get a secondary battery as an accessory that's a 14 amp hour battery that will increase your mileage. The Core5 comes with a KD21C adjustable speed LCD screen that has nice visibility in overcast and sunny conditions. As you can see, my wife and I have put about 35 miles on this bike to do the testing through all kinds of different terrains, up and down hills, and I'm excited to tell you the results of that. This bike has a cadence sensor. Due to the price point of this bike, it comes with a solid front fork. It has Tektro 160 millimeter mechanical disc brakes. These are the MD280s on the front and the back. It has Kenda 27.5 inch by 2.2 inch wheels and tires on it. Comes standard with Shimano gear shift and derailleur. Has a 44 tooth front alloy chain ring. It came standard with the left side thumb throttle, but I did move it from the left over to the right, and that is my personal preference. I like it on the right better, so that is an adjustment that's easily made. It comes with a rigid 90 millimeter front bike stem and a cafe style handlebar, which puts the hand positions nice and back for an easy riding. The seat height on the Core5 ranges from 32 to 40 inches. According to the website, this bike can hold 275 pounds. The step-thru version will accommodate a rider that's up to 6'1" tall. The XR version, the cruiser version that has the bar across, that bike will actually go, it's still the same 275 pounds, but you can be up to 6'4" tall. So I'm assuming the frame configuration on the XR is slightly different, larger than the step-thru. The bike comes in 3 different colors. This one is azure blue. I really like the color, it's beautiful. Now that we've covered most of the basic features and components on the bike, I want to kind of give you my thoughts on the overall, how it rode, what my wife thought about it. First of all, let's start out with this. Some of the video you're going to see of me riding it is going to make it look like I'm very large for this bike. There's two reasons for that. The first reason is some of the video is taken with the 360-degree camera, so that gives it a bit of a fisheye effect. And because of that, I tend to look larger on the bike than I normally would. But the second reason is I am too big for this bike. I'm 20 pounds heavier than the maximum weight, and I'm 2 inches taller. So I'm 6'3", the bike says up to 6'1". I do want to point out that the seat comes up plenty high for a 6'3" person, but I think if you were going to ride it a lot, you'd want to extend the riser up a little higher to get the handlebars at a more comfortable riding position. The seat's pretty nice. It's definitely a seat that's made for riding in a more aggressive stance because it's got the thinner tongue on it. I tend to like the handlebars up a little higher, so you're in more of a cruising style position and a bigger seat. So I will probably be swapping out the seat on this, but the seat for what it's for is a good fit for the bike. So what did I think of this bike? Well, today the bike retails for $1,195, and currently it's on sale, I believe, for $1,045. With discount code Turtle, you can get another $40 off, which puts this bike just over $1,000. For a $1,000 bike, this is really nice. It's got a nice even power flow, so it's not gonna, some of the bigger 750 watt bikes will yank you off the line because they got a lot of torque. This one has more of a slow acceleration mode, but I never felt like there wasn't enough torque to get me moving, and I am a bigger guy, so that's very impressive. One of the key things that both my wife and I found with this bike as we rode it is the balance between human input and motor input. On a lot of the 750 watt bikes, the motor is very prevalent in the power. So when you're pedaling, sometimes you get ghost pedaling. You don't seem to get enough exercise for the work you're doing. This bike balances that right out of the box a lot better. My wife's heart rate went up about 20 beats per minute as she was riding, and it gave her a little bit more of a workout with not being so overwhelming that you're going to burn your muscles up and you know, poop out in about 5 or 10 miles. You can ride this all day, but you're going to get a better workout, which I got to be honest with you is very enticing. So enticing is the fact that my wife, who is 5'6", wants this possibly to be her daily rider because of that. She likes that extra work and the fact that she can slowly speed up to things versus hitting the throttle and just going. This one has a much more even and smooth acceleration curve. Now, some of the things that this bike doesn't have would be a rear rack, which I believe you can get from the Ride1UP website. It doesn't have fenders, which I think is pretty nice to have on a day like today where it was rained yesterday. Today's got a lot of puddles on the ground. I don't want that mud and stuff splattering up my back, so I definitely would want to get fenders for the front and the back. Again, those are available through the Ride1UP website. It doesn't come with a headlight. It doesn't come with a bell. Both those things are easily purchased and put on aftermarket. So my overall impression of this bike is it is an excellent value for $1,000. If you pay more, you're going to get something with a rear rack, fenders, headlight, tail light, all that other stuff, but it's going to be typically a heavier bike. This one at 50 pounds feels more like a bicycle, so if I put a lot of human power into it, it accelerates like a regular bike would, my old mountain bikes, for example. My other bikes that are heavier, they're 70, 80, 90, even 100 pounds. So when you turn down the motor assist level to a certain point and you have to pedal it, you're going to really have to put in some effort to get it going. So the acceleration is a whole different situation. This is much more like a regular bike and very enjoyable. For $1,000 or just over $1,000, I don't think you can beat it. It's really impressive. So those are my thoughts on the Core5 step-thru. It's been a very pleasant surprise to ride this bike, and I look forward to making some small adjustments, maybe putting on a more cushy seat and a suspension seat post for my wife, and give her a chance to ride it a while and really see what this thing's made of. If you have a Core5, let me know your thoughts down in the comments of what you think of it. If you're interested in the Core 5 and you have specific questions, leave a comment down below asking me a question. I'd be happy to get back to you and answer it the best I can. That's been my review of the Ride1UP Core 5 step through. If you like to support my channel, the best thing you can do is to share the video, get it out there so people can see it, and like it, leave comments, all the things. I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you next time.